Hey everyone, it's Grizz. Grizz, and can you see him? He's here. He's flipping here. Always here. He's always under my feet. It's Grizz and Ronnie. Say hello, Ronnie. Hello. Today we're gonna get licked by Ronnie. Today I'm gonna fit the Decat link pipe on the double R, make it a bit noisy. Look at the camera, Ronnie. Yeah, so we're going to do the Decat link pipe. Let's put him down. He's a lump. He's grown a bit though, hasn't he? He's a little bit bigger than he used to be, aren't you? A little bit bigger than he used to be. He's what's he now? About 10 months. Anyway, that's enough of Ronnie. Go up, yeah. Can never stop playing with him. Yeah, so I'm going to do the Decat link pipe and see if Ronnie doesn't get in the way all the time. But I'm going to try and do like I did on the previous time when I fitted the Akaprovic M can, and do like a before and after sample, providing Ronnie doesn't chew my fingers off before I get to that point, isn't it? Anyway, let's get it started. You can have a listen to it now. I'm going to do like a before and after sound comparison, just to show you the Decat link pipe what I've got. Here is the Decat link pipe. It's a bit crude. It's a slip together system, so it comes apart like so. It comes in those two pieces, and also with the kit you get a spring to hold them together and two big clamps. You clamp it onto the original exhaust. My only kind of reservations about this exhaust system at the moment is that I'm not really sure if it's going to fit and line up okay with the Akaprovic can, and is also not got a bracket coming off here for me to fit it up onto the underneath of the bike. So yeah, the main securing points are going to be on the downpipe, the manifold fitting points, and the rear exhaust can mounting point. No mid mounting point. What have you got? You got your ball. What have you got? Hey, Ronnie's got his ball. I'm going to get Ronnie out of the garage for a moment and we'll get the bike started up. Alright, so that's enough of that. I think I've woken up the neighbours on a Sunday morning and made everyone happy. Now I'm going to get the bike apart, get the standard down pumps off and get it cut up and get that link pipe fitted. Let's hope it goes okay. Fingers crossed it all fits up. Ooh! Right, you join me some hours later. The bike is in a different state. There's actually quite a lot of work to do this. You've got to also remove the exhaust cables, the exhaust valve, rear valve motor, servo motor, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, lots of work. So now we've got to fit this Decat link pipe on. There's the Akaprovic can. Here is the exhaust system removed. It's a lot of work to do it, to get it off. If you want to watch, I think I might have done a more detailed video on this when I did the initial Akaprovic downpipes. Have a look on that video, or the build series, and you will see more so me removing servos and things like that. But I'm not going to do it on this one because it's just too long a video, sadly. But anyway, have a look back through my my playlist, as I say, and there is a build series on this bike of when I did the Akaprovic system. So anyhow, that is the standard downpipes off with the catalytic converter. Now I've got to get my angle grinder and make a couple of cuts, cut off the cat, and then we can get the Decat link pipe on. I took off the footrests as well because I'm going to fit the RNG footrests like I had before, the rear sets. So yeah, let's get this party started. Let's make some noise.
Luke, I am your father. Anyway, let's get cutting. Don't try this at home, kids.
Right, I've cut through this a bit, and it's got like the mesh for the kind of cat filter in this area, so it's taken quite a lot of cutting. I've just used that one disc, nerdy. I'll just put a fresh disc on so I can get a bit deeper into the material, and then hopefully better prise it apart. Fun and games, more cutting. Right, they're apart. So what I didn't realise before I started cutting these two apart was that I was actually also cutting through this material, which is the mesh for the filtration of the catalytic converter. And now we need to get rid of, or I need to get rid of, this material so the exhaust system breathes nice and freely. I think I'm going to drill around the outsides here and get the kind of mesh out, and then put a file in there and clean up the edges. I'm also going to probably finish and fine tune the end of these so they kind of maybe match up more, although they're not that bad. So yeah, I'll play with that, clean them up. So I'm going to start drilling these bad boys out. This is no longer needed. I'm wondering if there's actually any value in these. People steal catalytic converters, don't they, and sell them to scrap yards. I wonder how much value there is in that, if it's worth me taking it to a scrappy. Is that worth anything? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I've also been posing some questions recently about this valve and whether or not it's worth leaving open or not, or disabling. I believe as it is right now with no cable on it, the valve is closed. I think it closes the valves. I'm not really sure, guys, if it's open or not. Some people are saying it's there for noise, to keep the noise down. Other people are saying emissions. I'm not sure, for passing the emission tests. So I'm going to do some back-to-back tests and have it connected and disconnected, and see what it brings, see what happens when it's connected or disconnected. So I'll bring that to you at a later date. The bike is a little bit more just kind of put back together loosely with all the other parts over there. Let's get this drilled out and get it cleaned up so I can get it on the bike. Taffy and I want to go riding this weekend. It's Taffy's weekend off this weekend, so I've got a bit of work to do. Okay, let's do it. Right, this stuff is very soft, so yeah, careful not to damage the outer edge of the pipe, obviously, that you want to keep nice and good condition. And a lot of dust is coming out of this, so I'm going to put my gas mask on again because I don't fancy breathing that in.
This isn't actually as easy as it looks. It just goes off on its own angle. So be careful not to damage the pipe and misshape it. Just take your time with it, guys. Don't rush it. Don't go damaging the exhaust. It's getting there, but it's a bit hit and miss, as I say.
Right, that so far is actually a little bit messy, so I'm going to use a bigger drill bit now. I think I started off with something like a 6mm. I've gone up to like a 10mm. I think this is actually maybe a 9mm even. So let's give that a go. See how that is. See if that helps.
Right, old screwdriver and hammer, and we don't want to use too much force on this because we don't want to do any damage to the exhaust. Talking of damage to the exhaust, we also don't really want to get all these bits that have come out here scratching up the exhaust, so I'm gonna clean it out again. Jeez, it's a lot of dirt. I'm just going to try and knock through some of the edges here. I can't get properly with the drill. Careful though, you don't want to damage the exhaust itself. It's one big chunk. Can you see this? It's actually pulling away from the outer side of the exhaust. Oh. No.
Right, that's one side cleaned out. As you can see, pretty good job. Just get it out basically. I think what I'll do with this second one is just use the bigger drill bit, go around more on the inside, and then I'll just wedge the screwdriver in and pull it off the edges like I started to on the end there. Just make a cleaner job. As it is, I've not really hit anywhere on the inside of the exhaust really. A few little touches, but nothing that's going to kill it. I could put a little bit of high temperature paint in there just to kind of stop any corrosion taking place. But I think to be on the safe side now, on this side, I'm just going to do a more of an inner circle so I don't touch the outer or the inner side of the exhaust with the drill bit, and then get the screwdriver on it and pull it away, as I say, from the outer edge. Let's try that. Let's see if that works better. Right, that is it. It's all cleaned out. That is both the exhaust holes there completely cleared out of the mesh. I'm going to get the angle grinder on it now. Whoop. I'm going to get the angle grinder on it and just give a final finish now to these two connecting pipes. So then I can put the link pipe, and I can put the link pipe on and get a nice clean join up. Right, so here is the exhaust, kind of finished and ready to fit. I might put a bit of black paint, some high temperature paint on these just to prevent any corrosion. I've also cut these so they match more so. They didn't look amazing, but I did a rough guide of about 4 centimeters from the inner edge, the inner edge, or maybe the outer edge, all depends how you want to think about it really. But yeah, about, can I do that, hold the camera and measure at the same time? It's about 4 centimeters all the way around. Right, so I've just given these a coat of paint. I got some high temperature paint here. I got some kind of grey and some black. Started off with grey, it looked ridiculous, so I finished it off with black. You won't really see much of this anyway, but basically I've got some bungs in there at the moment, just stopping spray getting down into the actual exhaust itself. Not that it really matters, but anyway, it will just stop and prevent any rust. So that is done. I don't really think we'll see it anyway when it's on the bike. I think it's covered by the fairing, but it's not a complete eyesore, and it's not gonna corrode away for all those winter rides that I do. So yeah, job done. Just wait for that to dry, then I can fit it up on the bike. Woohoo! Right, so I've put everything together. The paint is dried, the connector pipe is on, the rear link pipe is just waiting to go on along with the spring. Putting the oxygen sensors back in, or put the oxygen sensors back in. Make sure you get the right one on the right side. So yeah, make sure you get the oxygen sensors in the right way around. I've put the wire back in, the cable back on for this valve. We're going to have a little play with that at some point, and deactivate and activate it and see what the difference is in performance and sound. But anyway, that is it. It's ready to go on the bike. Let's get it on the bike and listen to it. Right, that's it. It's together. It's all on. Let's give it a start up. Let's see what it sounds like. Where's my key? Flipping key. There it is. Start it up. Right, I think that's enough noise. It's certainly noisier. Yeah, it's certainly noisier, but is it noisy enough to knock Taffy's bike off the league, top of the league? So yeah, only one way to find out. Let's take it out and have a ride. But yeah, Taffy and I are going to go out for a ride. But as you can see, it's all on, it's in place. It doesn't look too bad. The original carbon fibre guard that come with the Akrapovic guard, exhaust doesn't really fit in. There's no lower fixing point on this exhaust system, but there's not actually a great deal of weight. That catalytic converter was so heavy that it does need that kind of third fixing point, but it is actually all fitted up quite well. No problems with anything. Everything's gone together. Everything fits together. I've got the RNG footrest back on. Very tasty indeed. Looking forward to the added comfort of that. And yeah, it looks very slick. And yeah, sounds great. Sounds absolutely brilliant. At the moment, I've left that front exhaust valve wired up. I'm going to ride it for a bit with it all wired up, and then I'm going to unwire it and see what the difference is I feel. But I'm happy with that. Happy with the exhaust. It's all good. It's much louder. Saved myself a bunch of money fitting the Decat over a full system. Loving it. Let's ride. Let the fun begin.